Tuesday night, once again, it's a virtual office hours. I think I gotta come up with an intro to make these things a little more interesting. What do you guys think? Maybe like an animation sequence or like a couch gag? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, so, to whoever's watching, welcome. What am I gonna do on stream today? I honestly don't know. I have a student who may be coming to talk a little bit about files with me. Um, Specifically in Python, how you open files, how you work with them, kind of getting that introductory stuff in the way. Am I live right now? Yeah, it looks like I'm live. I just got nothing right now. Okay, cool. One update, I figured out how to finally pin the stupid chat window. That's cool. Um, so for people who use XFC, what I ended up doing was I have two monitors, right? So I have one on top. That's why I'm always looking up all the time. Um, what I ended up doing was I just right clicked the window here, and I was looking for these options, right? So for OBS, I hit always on top. That puts this always on top, but OBS is on the top window, so you don't see that one. You see these windows. It's kind of a neat little hack I came up with there. Um, yeah, but so yeah, what am I gonna do? If he doesn't show up, I guess I'll just maybe do some more TRYHACKME stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with that lately. I kind of took a break from that for a while after like an initial kind of rush, because I realized what I was doing was basically like us for like the medium and harder boxes. Like I was finding what the vulnerability was, but then I would just kind of find a script on GitHub and like run it, and I was realizing, well, that's kind of cheating, isn't it? Like, shouldn't I try to like write my own exploit? Like, wouldn't that be actually learn something? Which is proving to be harder, but I think it's better that way. So I haven't really touched a lot of the medium and hard boxes because of that, because I really want to try to get better at writing these exploits. I'm stuck on one in particular. If anybody out there hate watches me and just likes to make fun of how bad I am at this stuff, the one I'm kind of working on now, or have been working on for a little while, it's called Raw. Which I'm not going to run it right now because that's going to take like 5 minutes to set it up and everything. But um, this is it's a specific vulnerability in is XMPP. I think it's XMPP. I think it's an XMPP server called OpenFire that's kind of like the target basically, right? And I was able to like enumerate users just by scraping the web page, things like that, manually. And I was looking at the source code, and I came up with kind of a script to address it. So the one that actually works is Python. I tried to redo it in Bash, and I realized that was a bad idea. Um, but I tried to recreate the exploit with something like this, where it's basically, you give it a host, you give it a port, you give it the vulnerable path that you're trying to hit, which is these Unicode characters. That's the vulnerability. Basically, it doesn't scrub those Unicode characters, or UTF-8. I don't know if I'm using the right word. It's probably UTF-16, I think it's technically. Whatever. It's one of those weird encoding scheme things. And I'm able to like get the URL just fine. Like this works, like just pinging the URL. Although I don't know if that actually tells you if it's vulnerable, because I would have to like look at a patch version to see what it does. I don't know if it gives you a redirect code, so I'm kind of assuming that this is a check. But it gets this URL fine. The problem is when I try to give it the URL with all these parameters in it. So if you look on, without getting too into it, because I could go all day and just into this. If you look at like the vulnerable code, well, not necessarily the vulnerable code, but the idea of this vulnerability, right, is that you can access any of the files above the web root, right? So you can access like the log files and things like that, and most importantly, you can make the user create file, right? So there's a function that you're allowed to call, but you're not supposed to be allowed to call, right? So you're allowed to create users, and basically what I did for the code was like I looked what parameters were in it. So like there was a create parameter, there was a username. Like it's a JS script, so it's something like boolean.getParameter is the function that you're looking for something like this. And I feel like I have it all set up right, but when I send this, well, the first thing I notice that happens is Python doesn't render it, right? I just get a JavaScript error, right? Which, in hindsight, makes sense. Python shouldn't be running JavaScript, but then only your browser should be, right? So that made sense. Then I ran it through curl, and curl gets the file, but it doesn't make the username, even though like when I feed it in. So I tried doing it with curl, and that didn't work. So I don't know. I'm missing something here. I'm gonna probably look at exploit code and like the sample exploits and see what they did, because like I do something very similar. They do. I mean, a lot of people write out the whole URL. Maybe that's what I need to do, or maybe I need to visit in a browser. I'm not really sure, but that's the one I'm working on right now, and yeah. So maybe I'll just do like an easy one on screen something. That might be fun, right? Just hit it from scratch. There's a guy called I'll give him a quick shout out. There's a guy called Tyler Ramsby, who's kind of starting to pick up steam on YouTube. This guy Tyler Ramsby. Right, is that how you spell his name? Yeah, that's him. Yeah, what this guy does, he actually kind of inspired me to do this channel, because I realized, like, oh, he's just kind of like going through boxes, right? I could do that, right? Even though I'm just a professor and I'm doing this mostly for my students, I figured, if he can do it, why not me too? But yeah, he's a really cool guy. What he does that I think is cool is that he'll go from the boxes like without any prior research, so he kind of shows you his thought process throughout it, which I haven't gone through a lot of his videos because some of them get quite complicated, um but he seems like a pretty cool dude that I would highly recommend checking out if you're more interested in the offensive side of stuff, because I certainly don't know how to do that stuff that well. That's why I made this channel, to try to learn more about it. Have people on the internet berate me and learn more. Okay, no viewers yet. We're about 5-10 minutes in. Let's give them a little bit of time. Let's check out what's going on in the news. So 2 articles kind of caught my attention while I was skimming it. Although, I don't know if this one's going to be interesting. This seems like the usual stuff. Although it says it's actively exploited, so I'm curious what these are, because they are actually used. 2 actively exploited zero-day vulnerabilities during the April 2022 Patch Tuesday. First is CVE 2024 blah blah blah. Describes as a proxy driver spoofing vulnerability. It was issued to track a malicious driver signed using a valid Microsoft Hardware Publisher certificate that was found by Sophos XOps in December. What does that even mean? I'm so lost on that. Hold on. So it's spoofing a driver? I'm confused. Please give me more than that. I don't know what that is. All the people that know what that is are laughing at me like, you don't know what a proxy spoofing driver is, you fucking idiot? No, I really don't. I've never heard that. What does this mean? Why am I trusting Microsoft to tell me how to exploit their software? Well, I'll look at. Let me pump that into Google, and we'll look at that in a second. What's the other one? Is that like a more normal one? Oh, are they saying they bundled a driver with like legitimate software? That's what it sounds like. I'll have to read more. That's confusing. Second one, patched today as Microsoft is tracked as CPU blah 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 and described as a smart screen. Okay, that one sounds. I know smart screen. That's the UAC thing, I think, right? Or no, I don't think that's smart. No, I always confuse those. What's smart screen again? Is that the thing that scans stuff? Yeah, it's Defender. That's what I thought. So Smart Screen is the thing that DDoS our website. Funny story about that one. So what happened was, so one day I normal day at work, and then around something like 10:30 a.m., all of a sudden I get reports everywhere that the website's down. Nobody knows why. So we start taking a look at what's eating the most traffic, and we're seeing like requests coming in from like all kinds of computers and stuff. So something's triggering something. To like kind of hit us at a specific time. We went through kind of what happened at that time. We noticed that a lot of we noticed 2 things. We noticed there were 2 URLs in particular that were being hit. I won't say what they did. They were basically like news articles, right, that we had on the website. So Not like a typical thing that somebody would kind of use to maliciously DDoS somebody, right? Normally you'd kind of like hit something that's vulnerable, or just hit the website in general, right? You wouldn't target a directory. And the other thing is that we noticed tons of emails were going out at that time. So we put two and two together, and we realized that there was a marketing campaign going on. And what happened was, when people got that email, and it was sent to probably thousands of people, maybe tens of thousands, I don't know, because it included not just like faculty and staff and everybody, it included all the donors, included anybody who's ever had any relationship to a Delphi, right? So a lot of fucking emails, right? And apparently, because of the stupid smart screen feature, and because of other similar features, and we were able to show this in the logs, actually, Azure kept pinging us over and over again, asking for those links, because people would see the email, or they'd get it in Outlook, right? And then Outlook would scan that with Defender. And then when it scans it with Defender, it's crawling the URL. So if it's going out to like 50,000 people, and they're all scrolling the URL, and some might not just be scrolling, so not Smart Screen's not the only one there's a problem with. There's also something called Barracuda. I forget what their Smart Screen thing is. Barracuda scanning, or something like that. Yeah, the email threat scanner, right? Whatever it's called. They're not the only ones, right? So it's not just Windows, it's not just Barracuda, there's a ton of these out there that try to scan networks. But one of the unintended consequences of that is that if you're not either throttling those requests ahead of time, or if you're not careful about who those emails are going out to, you can potentially like get pinged by everyone in the world, right? So that was kind of an interesting little case we ran into. That I thought that was really a head scratcher first, because we really had no idea where it was coming from at all, and we had no idea that Smart Screen was even had this feature where it actually like crawls the URLs and all that, right? It didn't even occur to me that was a thing. But we had a meeting with Microsoft and their engineers, and they confirmed it. That's exactly it. And I was surprised that nowhere did I see it really anywhere except this one Reddit thread that somebody found. I wish. Let me see if I can find it. Defender Smart Screen DDoS site reddit.com. This was what put it all together. Shit, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to find it now because it was in a company Slack channel, and that would be cool to put on the internet. But there was one Reddit thread out there, right? That put all it together. It's like all of a sudden we got all the connections, and then somebody said, "Hey, we need Smart Screen," and we're like, "Oh, what the hell, Smart Screen?" All right, so diversion on Smart Screen. What's this vulnerability actually about? So it's a feature bypass vulnerability caused by a protection mechanism failure weakness. So what is it? Where does this? Wait, let me read that again. Feature bypass caused a protection mechanism failure. Oh, so they were able to turn off something. I guess that's what it sounds like. Tuesdays. All right, let me look at both of these. Curious how much is infos on them. I mean, they're supposedly actively exploited, right? So it should be a lot. Let's see what Tenable's got. Okay, that's all good. Okay, what is all this? An attacker could exploit this vulnerability by convincing a target to open a specially crafted file using social engineering tactics such as an external link, blah, blah, blah. A specially crafted file. Interesting. Okay, researchers disclosed. This flow was reported to Microsoft by some of the same researchers that discovered an internet shortcut file security feature bypass that was associated with dark hacking using fake installer files. Interesting. Oh, okay. I get why this is severe now. So what this is saying is whatever the vulnerability is, right? Whatever file that lets you get past, this basically lets you bypass Smart Screen, and you can put whatever file, right? That's basically what they're saying here, if I'm understanding it correct. So Yeah, that's pretty bad. That basically, I guess, effectively disables the antivirus, right? You could just use a specially crafted file. I mean, I don't know how it works, but whatever crafting techniques it is, um, I guess you can just kind of bypass the defender that way. All right, well, that's not too surprising. I mean, there's other ways to bypass defender that I've seen, even simpler than that. But I guess in particular, this one's tricky because you could 'cause, they would open it. They wouldn't. You could hide it, right? You could hide it in a file. Okay, that's interesting. What do we have to say about this one? Proxer driver spoofing. I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of that. Let's take a look on Google. Sending exploits in a zip file to evade EDR NDR detection. Well, that's normal. That's nothing special. I don't know. Maybe I should just Google what the hell proxy driver spoofing. What is that? Proxy driver spoofing. No, that's what I was talking about. That's spoof proxy detections. I have no clue. Yeah, all it's coming up with is this vulnerability. That helps. The hell's the useful of the term if it doesn't? Nobody can look up what it means. No, everybody's laughing. Everybody who does proxy hacking is laughing at me. They're like, haha, this guy doesn't know proxy driver spoofing. Oh, wait. Is this so? What is this? Proxy hacking. Designed to supply an authentic website. No, I don't think so. That's so what they're talking about here is making an imitation site to like proxy traffic to that to make it appear like it's a fake login page, but that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about a driver. What's a proxy driver? I don't fucking know. If you're a proxy person, please tell me what I'm missing here, because I don't even know what I'd look up at this point. That's a tricky one. Kudos to the security researchers on that. That's super cool. The other one I noticed is this one, the Find My Device Network. Now I heard about this a little while ago, and I didn't really read up on it. I still haven't read up on it, so I know nothing really about it, except what's in this article, pretty much. But it did get me thinking. It did get me thinking because this is a little sus, right? The idea of this is that you can locate your phone even when it's offline or dead batteries, right? And what's sus about that is it's even more always on than phones already are, right? So phones are already kind of by default radioing out to a ton of different things, right? 4G towers, Wi-Fi signals, cell phone towers, right? So they're kind of always connecting to something as it is. And this kind of adds one more thing to it. And supposedly it works without batteries, which that's a little spooky because that suggests that there's like a tiny little hidden battery there that kicks in just to run that like Bluetooth relay or whatever it's doing. And the reason why that's scary is because that means that your phone's always emitting a Bluetooth signal. And I don't know much about Bluetooth, but I do know that it is a wireless network, just like Wi-Fi or anything else, right? So if you can kind of trick your phone or trick somebody looking up their phone, right, with I don't know how to even do it. I guess you'd spoof the Bluetooth MAC address or whatever. There's some kind of broadcasting Bluetooth does. I can't remember off the top of my head how it works. But it broadcasts like a Bluetooth address, similar to an IP address, right? But I think it's hardware based. That's kind of the main difference. Maybe I shouldn't bullshit and just like look it up, right? So Bluetooth address broadcast. How does Bluetooth addressing work? What is a Bluetooth address? That's what I was looking for. Yes, this is why I confused it with a MAC address, because it looks like one. Right, with that little separation thing, but it's not actually a MAC address. I shouldn't have said that. Actually, no, it is a MAC address. I am not a liar. I don't know. We're going to pretend this article is the authoritative figure on everything. But yeah, Bluetooth address is basically like a MAC address, and it looks like it's composed of three things. Non-significant, contains the 16 parts of the OUI. What's the OUI? Is that the organization thing? Yeah, organizationally. So that's from like Apple, that's Google, whatever their number is, right? So these first 3 bytes. Am I stupid? No, 3 bytes. First 3 bytes describes um what the device, who made the device, right? And this one is assigned by the vendor. And I guess there's probably some randomization part to it too, right? So that you can tell different things on the network. I'm not going to pretend that I know Bluetooth networking with Google. I'm going to assume that, the network wise, it works fine. What I wonder about is how easy it is to kind of put bad nodes on the network, right? Like, because it's all peer-to-peer Bluetooth, right? So like, what if somebody's looking for their phone, or like, let's say you stole their phone, right? And they're trying to track it to you. If you, I feel like, I don't know if this is true, but my intuition tells me, if you could somehow just broadcast a cloned phone, right? So if you clone the phone and broadcast that signal, and I don't know, throw it in the dumpster somewhere or out in the ocean, so that the user like forgets about it or something like that, or I don't know. I honestly don't know. Actually, no, that would be stupid, right? Because then what the hell would be the point of buying the phone? I don't know. It feels sus. That's all I'm gonna say. It feels sus to have something that's always connected to every other device, and it feels like somebody could take advantage of it somehow. But knowing Google, they get their security right pretty for the most part. Google's pretty serious about that. Looks like they have a bug bounty program, so maybe that's something I'll think about, even though I know nothing about this garbage. How does it work? So what are they actually looking for in their phone program? I'm curious. Go this to the left so I can actually. Rules, projects and scope. No, I don't care. This over here. I don't know what they're trying to tell me here. Is this related to the thing? Am I stupid? It says to find it. Bug hunters rules. Android and Google devices security reward rules. And it redirected me to this. Well, that's a mystery for another time. I'm not gonna be looking at that anytime soon. Cool stuff though. Well, not cool stuff. A little spooky. Gonna have to keep my eye on that. All right. No takers yet for office hours, so I guess I'm just gonna have a little bit of fun here and do some hacking. So let's pick a nice easy box and just try to see how far we can get, and maybe embarrass myself a little bit because it's an easy box. Like the thing about difficulty is it's subjective, right? It depends on like what other people think is easy, right? So I've found a couple easy boxes which I had a little trouble with. So hopefully this won't be one of those. Let's find out. Okay. Oh, this one's not free. Sad. Oh no, it is. I just no. Okay, hold on. Go back. Sad. I did opacity already. Don't want to do forensics. It's going to be difficult. Let me make 100% sure, right? You really won't let me? Sadness. Sadness. They gotta make their money. I get it. I get it. Gotta do what you can. I still appreciate you guys for all the free stuff you do put out. It's really, really fucking helps me. I think I did agent sudo. How do you search? Alright, let me search. Let's go with easy. Oh, well, free only. Let's try CTF. And we'll go with easy. Basic pen testing, root me. Simple CTF. OSINT. Empty hacker. Crack the hash, that's boring. Yeah, you know what, let's keep it simple. Simple CTF. Let's see what this one's all about. Oh, you know, I really love these boxes where like they kind of really walk you through like how to enumerate stuff. Really freaking helpful. Because I honestly, when I started, I had no idea. Like I knew how to run unmap and stuff like that, but like I didn't know what was interesting, what wasn't really, and this really helps with that kind of stuff. All right, let's fucking join this stuff and try to break into it, huh? All right, join the room. Start the machine. It's gonna take a minute or two. So let me set up my workspace. Meter, what is this called? Simple CTF? Simple CTF. CD simple. I'm going to make a notes file. I always, well, lately, I shouldn't say always. I haven't always done this, but lately I've been making a notes file just because when I come back to these, I realize I fucking forget everything. So, gotta have that. So we'll have our notes. Oh, I gotta run VPN. Sudo, oh wait, now I gotta go up. Sudo OpenVPN, my key. Cool. Alright. So a few more seconds, and then we'll have it open. It'll probably take a minute to boot up even, but let's see. Let's see if we get lucky. Alright, first thing I always do in any pen test is always try to visit it, because you, half the time, well, I shouldn't even say half the time, I'd say most of the time, it's like some kind of web server. And there's exceptions, you know, RDP stuff, SSH stuff, but almost all the times it starts with a web server. Make sure it's actually up before I do anything. Oh, it's not even up yet. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Hold on. My VPN and everything? One VPN. I'll just ping it until it wakes up. Oh, there we go. It's alive. Go ahead and enter. Okay, it's spinning. So maybe not HTTP. Just spinning. Well, it could be the server still booting up. But you know what? You know, let's just give it another minute. Give it another minute. Because the server could be booting up still. Let's see. No, it's just spinning, huh? Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So it's a default Apache configuration. That could mean something. Okay. All right, so there could be a directory, there might not be. So let me think here. I guess let's start with just a scan, because this is kind of just a blank slate, right? So it could be there's other services running and they just left Apache unconfigured. It could be maybe there's a hidden site on this, like it's at /site or something like that. Like, yeah, it's not there, but all right, so let's just do some scanning. So let's do nmap. On these things, I always try to be as quiet and efficient as possible, right? So I don't go right ahead with the A flag and just scan everything right away. I really only do that when I'm completely lost. I have no idea what to do. what I usually do for these boxes, since they don't have DNS resolution, you can turn that off. And I just do the simple scan for the least amount of scanning, the quietest kind. Yeah, we'll do that, and obviously don't want HTTP around it. And we will put it out to a scan file. So scan, dumbass sudo. And while that's running, let me think about directory scanning. We'll use derb for that. I really shouldn't look at GoBuster. A lot of people recommend GoBuster because apparently it's faster, but all the scans finished, so let me just get this kicked off. It's gonna take a little while. All right, I'm gonna just run the small word list. I assume a lot of the time I don't find the common ones don't really get much else unless you're, I don't know, I guess you're really desperate. I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? We'll derb it. We'll see what happens. So we'll derb it. And let's take a look at the results of that scan while it's going. Okay. Oh, we have FTP. That's no good. Okay. So why is FTP no good? So one, it might allow us to anonymously upload stuff, and that's never fun. Two, it might tell us usernames. It could tell us a lot of stuff. There's also a Ethernet IP. What is 222? Ethernet IP1. I assume that's probably SSH, right? Because instead of port 22, they do 2222. But I don't know if that's really what we're looking for here. Okay, so that means, okay, so we have FTP, so we can log in as anonymous, I think. This is going to be a really embarrassing Google search, but that's how I go. FTP anonymous login. I'm pretty sure it's just anonymous at server, but I always look this up. FTP. FTP, blah, blah. Oh, you don't use a username. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Because nobody uses FTP anymore. Because why would you? It's FTP now. There's other file transfer stuff. But anyway, so we'll FTP to that server. Nope, that's not what I thought I had in the paste buffer. Copy that. FTP that. I don't like that I don't like that browsers do that, but whatever. Okay, so I'll just do anonymous. Okay, you can remote, you can do anonymous login. That's no good. Let's see if there's any files here. Extended passive. What? What are you talking about? What does that mean? That shouldn't prevent anything, though. Let's try help. Extended passive mode. What is that? Check your firewall. Client hangs on trusted. Choose transmit. I've never run into the server before. Well, this might be ending quickly. It seems to suggest that it's not connecting for some reason. Can I just turn off ESPV like that? No. Close it. This is confusing. Why does it do that? Okay. This is weird. Get file. But I don't know what the remote files are. PWD? Remote directory root? What? Remote directory root? Remote directory root? That's. I hope that means the FTP root. It doesn't mean the actual root. User. No. It's passive. Passive mode off. Is that all I have to do, LS? Oh. Okay. Pub. Huh. Okay, well, let's get pub. Oh. I probably have to exit passive mode. Okay, that's confusing. I've never run into that before. Anonymous. Maybe we'll, without turning passive on, we'll get, pub. Uh, okay. I'm pretty sure you can FTP just like this, right? Can you get a file? FTP getting a file. Oh, I can also W. I didn't think about that. You can just W get it. Let's do that. W get FTP. Stupid. Chat 10.10.217.55/pub. I have never run into this stuff before. Usually FTP just gets it. This is frustrating. Learning something new about FTP, I guess. Let's see. FTP this. So hold on, let's get. Oh, what does the area get? Entering extended passive mode. Could you not do that? Passive. Passive mode off. Get pub. ePort commands. Consider using ePassive. Oh, is it because it's... Maybe it's because it's... I should have looked at the file permissions. It's readable by FTP, so I should be able to read... Oh, but it's not... Well, no. That shouldn't matter. So it's readable by FTP. It's executable by anybody. Well, that's also not good. That's executable. Okay. Okay, so I guess I just can't, whatever the permissions are, I can't get this file. Let me think about this. Can I cat it? Well, no, obviously you could cat it if it can't read. Well, no, don't say obvious. That's not obvious. Edit. Try edit. Edit pub. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Um, feel like this won't make any difference. It'll try. I have to get bub. Can't find source file bub. No, it's right there. Yes, am I stupid? Is that not the name of the file? No, that's the name of the file. It's called pub. Doubt this will work. Didn't think so. Let's try FTP. No, you can't do that in browser. Look at WGET again. What is the error it's giving me? Okay, passive. What the fuck is this? Really? I've never had to do this time every time. Passive. Access file pub. I might be stupid. Why am I assuming pub's a file? Why would I assume that? It could be a directory. Well, let me try to... Anonymous... Yes. No. CD pub. Yeah, I'm a dumbass, that's why. Told you. Told you it's called Mike Sucks at Hacking for a reason, guys. Alright, so let's see if we can get 4 Mitch now. 4 Mitch. There we go. Alright, that was fun. That was a fun little stupid mistake. So what's 4 Mitch say? Damn it, man, you're the worst I've ever seen. You set the same pass for the system user. Password's so weak it's got cracked in a second. God, what a mess. Alright, so we know he's setting best passwords. So the same pass for the system user. He might be talking about FTP. Cracked in a second. What a mess. See if there's anything else in here that I missed. So we know that there's a weak password. Oh, you know what? I could just try to brute force it. It seems a little boring, but it wouldn't be hard. No. No, it doesn't help me. Yeah, so just one file. That's telling me there's bad passwords, and that it's the system user. Okay, so I know there's a user command. What does this one do? It asks for a username, so I could try like something like Mitch, I guess. Can't change from guest user, but I think that's going to say no matter what I put, right? So if I put in Fred, yeah, it doesn't matter. So let me remind myself how we can brute force FTP. Actually, before that, is there a way to enumerate users on FTP? Oh, I forgot. Did GoBuster find anything? Oh, it did find some stuff. Okay, so hold on. Let's not go right to brute forcing that. It looks like there's a directory called simple here. Let me pull it out so people can actually read it. Oh god, it's terrible. Looks like that's the only one. Yeah, so it's called simple as the directory. So let's go there. So we'll go to this /simple. What's going on this page? I'll move the chat out of the way. Okay. Okay, that's probably a user. Did he say that his password is the same as Mitch's, or did he just say, damn it, man. Is that the same pass for the system user? Huh. Okay. So there's obviously a guy named Mitch. The question is, what happened to his password? Well, it's obviously a weak password, so you could brute force it. It's out of the way. To get the administration. Huh. Okay, well, that's pretty easy. Okay, so we have an admin login page. Okay, so this one we could brute force. That's a thought. Oh, wow. It's almost 8 o'clock already. All right, I won't spend too much more time on this. But at the same time, I want to finish this. Supposed to be easy. Let's see. Okay, so we know we have an admin panel. And if I put in something like Fred, that's username or password. Oh, I'm curious. Will this let me enumerate username? So if I put in Mitch, it's going to give me something different? Okay, so it doesn't tell me what the username is. There's that. There's a forgot your password link. Try that. Email. Huh. I wonder if I can get this to email me his password. Well, actually, you could enumerate. So if I said Fred, right, that means he's not user not found. But if I put okay, so I can enumerate user's name that way, right? So that would mean Mitch. When I submit this, he's going to be found. Oh, it looks like it runs something. Okay, interesting. All right, so let's see if we can mess with this form at all. All right, this down. Method post. Hmm. Hmm. Copy password equals 1. All right, so those are. Okay, so hold on. When I send a. This first. When I put in a username, that is correct. What happens? Okay, so I've got this post. So what did it say? It's an internal server error. So that means that whatever it's trying to do, it don't work. Forgotten username is Mitch. Forgotten password form is 1. Login submit is submit. Okay, so it's not like an extra parameter that we could have used there. I have a feeling it wants me to brute force because it's saying weak. I hate brute forcing, but because he's saying it's a weak password. I feel like that's what it wants me to do. So let's try to write a brute forcer for this site. Actually, you know what? Before that, let's do a little more digging. Do a little more digging. What's all this? What's this site all about? Ooh, there's a search bar. What does this do? Turn ID search input match. No. I put in a quote. Did you fuck up? Okay, so it knows how to parse that. Alright, let me go back to the main page. Chat over here. This is probably the actual doc page, yeah. Doesn't help me. There's no link to read more. You can click on the news heading to read only this article. The news module is installed, posted by Mitch. We know Mitch is a user. You know, let me add that to my notes, I won't think about it. User. Go on TP. Notes. Yes, we know you found admin. You know, I could probably stop running that. Find anything else interesting? Oh yeah, let me put that. Found simple. Okay. Okay. So I think it wants me to brute force. All right, so let's try to run a brute force here. So let's learn how this form works. Go to admin. I put in Mitch, and I put in Mitch. No, let me try password, because it's a bad password, right? Okay. So, oh, I didn't catch the post request. Dummy. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, let's run it. Mitch. Post. What was my post request? Okay, so I said username, password. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. So what I'm doing here, for people who might not know, is I'm trying to figure out what parameters I'm allowed to put into the field because, you know, you could log into the browser here, but you could also log in with these parameters, right? So I could try something like username equals Mitch and password equals Mitch, right? Then I'll try to log in all the same. I think it'll give me an, yeah, whatever. Does it give me an error? That's the one thing that's a little concerning. Does this give me... It gives me a 200 OK. So I need to look for an error message somehow. Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to know if I have a good password or not. Hold on. Enter this. Why is there no... There was an error message that came up before. Did I break it? Right? Because when you enter a form here, which you hit submit, that gives you it. Oh, am I missing? I'm probably missing a parameter. I bet you that's what it is. It's probably a submit parameter too. And so let me bring up my console here. Go to network, submit it, and let's look at that request again. So post request. Yeah, that's what I missed. So you probably need to do login submit too. So let me just test that out. Username, password Mitch, and what was it? Login submit equals submit. No error message. And nothing in the response I can use. Annoying. Why doesn't it like it when I sign in this way? It should display an error, right? Submit. Right, when I click that button, it does it fine. What if I do login submit first? Login submit equals submit without any username or password. I think it's a capital submit. You don't get anything for that. If I hit here, I look at this post request. Yeah, that's okay. No ideas. Use your password, yeah. All well and good. Hmm. Maybe I can find something in the HTML itself. Let's try to Python this a little bit. All right, so let's try to plan out the script a little bit, what this is going to look like. So we'll do Python to interact with it a little bit. Import requests, which is the request library. Oops, requests with an S. And let's just get the site. So requests dot get this boyo. Not the whole thing. Okay. Let's see what we get. We get 200. What's the content? It's not called content? I thought it was content. Oh, I didn't store it in something. Shit for brains. RD. Content. Content. Thank you. Does it give you any kind of error message here? JavaScript cookies must be enabled. Cookies must be okay. Well, that's no good. Did I have a cookie here? Oh, you do. What are these cookies for? I don't know what they're for. Oh wait, no. Here we go. Session ID. Okay. Hmm. I guess I could manually brute force it, but that would suck, right? So yeah, this isn't going to render without JavaScript. Try curl. See if I get any difference there. Curl G this site. Just print it. Yeah, no error message or anything like that. Well, actually, that makes sense because it's a JavaScript error message, right? So it's popping up. Hmm. Size equals 15. I don't think that. Oh no, this is saying the size of the form. That doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't have that. Huh? I don't know what the frick to do here. It's supposed to be an easy box. Let me look back at the default page. It is getting close to 8, so I don't want to drag this on forever. I have a feeling maybe I'll take this by myself a little bit and read up on how I can read this page. News module. Wait, I overlooked that. The news module is installed. Hmm. I'm a little out of ideas for now. I think I'm going to break here with the stream. Doesn't look like I had any takers for Python files. What a shame. But we got started on this cool little box here. This is a nice little challenge. Looks like we have an admin page here that's going to be exploitable in some way. And it looks like maybe this news module will have something to do with it. Maybe not. I have a feeling maybe not, because the fact that you have an admin page is already pretty juicy. I just got to figure out how I'm going to brute force that page, or how I'm going to test that password in a better way. Because, like, I could just, enter passwords all day, but you really got to have something that is going to have feedback for you. Windows. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to be able to do this via Python, but I'm sure there's a way to brute force this. Maybe I got to read up on what's it called? Hydra? I think is what it's called. Hydra? Yeah, Hydra. There's got to be a way to do it with Hydra. I have a feeling. All right. That'll be for next time. Maybe we'll go deeper into Hydra and how I'm going to finish off this form. All right, so a bit of a cliffhanger for anybody who might be watching out there. Stick with me and yell at me if you see something that's really stupid I did, because I'm sure there was a whole lot in that hour. I just didn't catch it. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Any students that might be catching this late, I'll see you tomorrow.